Hey there, welcome to day 40 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, so I'll try not to go long, letting go strategies. I'm going to share 10 tips for letting go, and I'm going to go deep in number 3 that talks about forgiveness and releasing resentment, because I think that is a very powerful step. And I already actually started doing number 7 this morning. I started to declutter and go through winter clothes and winter jackets and winter things that have been piling up in a spot in my bedroom. And I'm like, I got to do something with this pile of stuff, decide what to get rid of, what to let go of, letting go strategies, because our environment, as well as the people we interact with and how we feel, it impacts how we feel about ourselves or how we let ourselves feel about ourselves, right? We don't ever have to let anybody or anything get to us, but we often do on a subconscious level, and that impacts our confidence, usually in a negative way. So what are 10 strategies we can, I'm just going to run through the list. I could give 3 steps for each one. If that's something you'd like to go deeper on, let me know and we'll do a separate little video or something on it, because I think I've done literally, I think 8 or 9 different videos on letting go strategies and different strategies I used to let go of the most common limiting belief, which, guess what? Even though I did all those things, it still pops up and rears its ugly head every once in a while, but it doesn't last with me very long. And that is, of course, the I'm not good enough, I don't deserve, I'm not worthy, that whole line of thinking. So what are some of the things that we can do when we notice? Well, the first thing we need to do is, of course, acknowledge and notice and become aware and accept our feelings and emotions. We're feeling the way we're feeling for a reason, and we can stuff it down and ignore it for decades sometimes, or we can deal with it and we can let it go. And it's, of course, much healthier to let go of it sooner rather than later, when it can absolutely fester and have a negative impact on different areas and aspects of our life, but most assuredly our confidence level, what we will and will not do, the opportunities we'll even allow ourselves to see because we don't think we're worthy or good enough or whatever. Number 2, we want to identify challenges. We want to identify those thoughts and beliefs that aren't serving us anymore, or those relationships, and we want to challenge them. We want to challenge a living belief. Do I really have to stay in this marriage? It's absolutely soul-sucking and sick, and do I really have to stay here? Well, the answer is no. Do I choose to stay there? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, etc. And finally, or not finally, then third, forgive and release resentments. And with respect to this, you can write a forgiveness letter. I love the whole forgiveness letter thing. I've written lots of them, never sent them, but it gets all of this stuff out of our system. You can practice empathy, try to see the situation from the other person's shoes. Now, that works with normal people, regular situations. But if you're involved with somebody who's mentally ill, somebody who is a narcissist, which I consider mental illness, and somebody who is willing to abuse you or treat you badly, then maybe you don't want to empathize with them. You want to just get the hell out. So we're going to talk about this one some more, because the third thing we can do when it comes to forgiving and releasing resentment is do some sort of ritual. And I'm going to talk about the rituals that I did, but I'll come back to that if we have time. Embrace mindfulness and present moment living. Be present, practice gratitude. I mean, I don't know how many times I talk about these same things. And engage fully in whatever activity you're doing. I have to consciously shut down my brain, and when I'm hanging out with my granddaughters, be present with my granddaughters. Or I'm always multitasking, which is not a good thing when we're trying to engage with little human beings. 5, let go of perfection. I don't think I've ever had the it's got to be perfect mindset, so I consider myself lucky there. But we have to set realistic expectations. We have to realize that things are what they are. They're not necessarily what we want or expect them to be right now. We have to adapt a growth mindset and celebrate wins. Whenever we have wins and things work out, we do the right thing. Yay me, right? Go you. Number 6, we want to, I need a magnet. Detach from toxic relationships. Absolutely positively set boundaries. If somebody doesn't honor your boundaries, probably not the right person to be in a relationship with. If someone is toxic to you, and they might be a great person to everybody else in the world, but they are absolutely toxic and terrible to you, you need to get out of that situation. Can ask me how I know that someday. And finally, surround yourself with supportive people, people that love and appreciate you for who you are. 7, declutter your physical and digital spaces. I actually started, like I said, decluttering my physical space this morning, and I will continue to do more of that because I know how powerful it is. If I don't have a lot of extra stuff in my life, it actually frees me up to create and bring in the things I really want now. Because I had this stuff for a reason, right? But that reason is often long, long gone. It's like replaying a negative event over and over and over again in our head in our life, or worrying about things that we don't have any control over. It doesn't put any positive energy in the world, so why are we bothering to do it? Engage in self-care and stress management. There's a whole lot of things we can do. I mean, there's entire coaches and courses and books, thousands of books written on managing stress, reducing stress, good stress versus bad stress. Eustress means I'm excited about doing something. De-stress means I'm freaked out about something bad. That's a really simplified version or definition. Number 9, take inspired action, meaning follow a passion project. Do things that you love to do. Set goals, of course, and engage in positive social interactions, not just going online and reading people's negative feeds or people's brag feeds online that make you feel bad about yourself. Just don't do those things. I learned that when I first came online. I would watch a bunch of people that were ahead of me on the journey of online business and online marketing, and I would go down these rabbit holes of watching what they did instead of taking action myself. Luckily, that didn't last too long. And then finally, number 10, life is a journey. Trust the process. Trust that things are happening for us, not to harm us or hurt us. They're there to show us something, and as soon as we see the thing that we need to see, we can move on and move beyond that and create the confidence in the life that we want. So what are some different ways we can release things? The whole I'm not good enough was coming up a lot in my coaching and consulting early on. And I'm like, okay, well, we've all felt that way. I don't think there's a person on the planet that hasn't at least once in their lifetime thought, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. This isn't for me. So how do we overcome some of those things? I took a whole day one day and just found creative ways to let go of that I'm not good enough belief. And I wrote it on a paper towel and burned it in a bucket. I wrote it on Post-it notes. I put it on a mirror and I put mirror cleaner on and I rubbed it off. I put it on a balloon and popped the balloon. And I put it on another balloon and I let the balloon go. I wrote it in the sand down by the river and let the water wash it away. And I don't even remember all the things I did, but I did a whole bunch of things like that just to have, number one, have fun with letting go of something that had had a grip on my life for literally decades. So today, think about one way, or just pick one of these letting go strategies and actually do it to a limiting belief. Maybe the first limiting belief that pops into your head today. Maybe it's, I'm so tired I can't get anything done, or I'm exhausted. Well, are you really exhausted? You just woke up. If you had 2 hours sleep and were out partying last night, you might actually be exhausted. But if you got 8 hours sleep and you're just dreading your day, that's a different kind of tired. And that's one we can challenge, because that's a limiting belief. We can create all the energy we need in an instant if we decide we want to. All right, any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.